Recently, I've actually been having some doubts on whether or not I made the right decision. So we decided to go with a 331 gear ratio, which is an extremely tall gear ratio, especially for a four-cylinder engine. And not only that, since it's going to be paired up with our Tremec T56 Magnum F close ratio transmission, I wanted to do some testing because I'm honestly kind of afraid that I went with too tall of a gear that we might not even be able to launch the freaking car. So let's go ahead and hop in a simulator and see if we made the wrong choice or not.
Alrighty, here we are in our simulation. We've got our gearing pretty much set exactly how it's going to be in real life with a 331 rear end final drive gear ratio and the specific gear ratios for our T56 Magnum F close ratio. Now the top speed on the left there says 213 miles per hour, which is inaccurate. That's only because this car in the game is only able to get up to about 500 or 600 horsepower, where trying to push past 200 miles per hour, the engine literally just can't do it. Running such a tall gear in a short wheelbase car should, in theory, help us get traction off the line, but let's see if we bog. That's what I'm more curious about. Oof, yes, we do. Really bad, too. But once we get going, though, we should be okay. Dang it, dude. Is there a track in this game that's going to be long enough for what we're trying to do? So I'm trying to keep it with a four-cylinder to help, mimic the terrible low-end power that these cars are going to have. Oof, dirty Bob. So unfortunately, my suspicion was confirmed, and it looks like we are going to bog pretty significantly off the line, which is not good. I'm hoping that the two-step and anti-lag will help that, but there's no telling. So it seems like it doesn't really matter what gear ratio we put. It seems like it always kind of bogs there in first gear. So this is with 410s, as you see. Still bogs. Let me try it. Let me go back to 331s. Ooh, it just bogged a whole lot worse at 331s. Yeah, guys, I think I may have screwed up getting the 331s. It definitely got off the line way quicker with the 410s. But I think in a real world scenario, we're going to have a severe traction issue because another thing is I refuse to cut the car. I don't want to add, any body flares or anything like that on the rear. So I'm going to be sticking with the 255 wide tire. It's going to be a radial and everything. It's going to be plenty sticky. It's just I don't want to put too wide of a tire. Oh, no, don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry. But yeah, let's see. It gets up to speed a whole lot quicker than the 331s with the 410s, which is obvious, it's gonna happen. So there's only one way to find out if we screwed up. But anyways, let's get back to the video.
So it is a little worrisome that the 331 gears did bog pretty heavily in the game. It is kind of a little bit unsettling, but I think no matter what, we'll be fine. Because there's a few things that we can do to we have a few tricks up our sleeves, if you will. And I would say a 331 is definitely way too tall for a four-cylinder in most situations. But in our particular situation where we want to do half-mile racing and maybe even some roll racing, I think the 331 is going to be our secret sauce. Anyways, let's get to building the differential. Well, guys, I think we're cooked. I don't know why it's going on there crooked, and I don't know how to get it off safely. Sucks, man. We were able to get it off by kind of lightly tapping the bottom of it. Got scared there for a second. Not sure why it went on there crooked to begin with, but it does look like it left a little bit of marking. All right, now that our 1,000 horsepower capable differential is nice and assembled, the bolts are torqued and got their red Loctite, it's time that we move our focus toward the differential housing. As you can see, it's pretty dang clean in there. I'm gonna hit it one more time with some brake cleaner just to make sure that there's absolutely no dust or debris in there whatsoever. And now we actually have to install the bearing races for the pinion gear. Guys, I swear, every time I start filming, that train decides it wants to show up. We don't actually have the proper size driver that we need, so I'm gonna go with a slightly small one and hope for the best. I can't tell if it's even going in or not. Definitely going in there crooked. I'll be honest, guys, I was gonna link these videos, these tools, but I've had nothing but problems with them more so than anything. Nice and flush. All right, here comes probably the hardest part of this whole process. Trying to install this 47-pound differential. This is gonna be impossible. All right, guys, so trying to use the factory shims in there, it is just like barely tight enough to, or barely loose enough for me to even get the diff in this far without having to force it. And I don't really want to force it any more than I am already. So I'm actually gonna take the shims out and measure them each and maybe go down a couple thousandths of an inch on each side, or maybe, you know, 1 or 2 thousandths on each side, and see if the diff will go in at least a little easier. I mean, we don't want it to fall in obviously, but this is like, I'm scared we're gonna damage the bearings doing it this way. All right, starting off with the passenger side shim, we measured about 28 thousandths of an inch. So I'm gonna go to our stack here and probably just go with 27 thousandths. I'm probably just gonna subtract 1 thousandths from each of them. That should be more than enough. We don't wanna go too loose and then have, you know, improper either backlash or contact pattern. There we go. Everything is torqued. Everything appears to line up pretty dang good. Genuinely have no idea if I'm doing this right. I don't know. We're gonna test the backlash and pattern anyway and see how we did. Yeah, that's a little too much. About 20 thousandths. So now we have to essentially add shims to the left side of the differential to push it closer to the pinion gear back there, and that will help tighten up the backlash. I did go ahead off camera and add 1 more shim, or I believe 2 more shims, and it's getting close. We're matching what the stock differential was, which was about 15 thou, which is just ever so slightly out of spec for a brand new differential. We've got a few more shims left. As you can see, these shims are really flimsy. We already demolished one of them. I went ahead and added 1 more shim to the left side here, and we got our backlash pretty dialed in. We're still a little bit loose on the backlash, but honestly, I'm gonna wait until we install like all new bearings and everything before I go and add another shim, because at least with the backlash, we can adjust that easily after everything's assembled. But 15 thou or so is not terrible. It's a little bit out of Ford's range of between 8 and 12, but we're gonna rock it for right now. But we need to check and see if our contact patch is looking okay. Yeah, we are not looking good. I don't think this contact pattern is gonna work. I think we need to tighten her up a bit, but hey, it's a starting point, so we at least know where we need to head. I think we need to head inward more. All right, so now all there's left to do is essentially take it all apart, put all the new bearings and everything in, and remeasure everything to make sure it's all good. I'm not gonna bore you guys with that, but yeah, that's really all there is to it. There is a few more things that we're gonna end up needing. Like, we're gonna need the new Grannis Racing rear diff cover, because that cover has 2 holes for some set bolts that will rest up against the bearing caps to help them be a little bit more sturdy. And it also has a bunch of like mounting holes for different applications. So we're gonna need that specific cover in order to actually mount the differential in the car. But yeah, I'll be honest, this was a bit of a struggle for me. It's my first time doing it. And yeah, it was a wrestling match between wrong parts, wrong tools, and just a struggle of the process of building this differential. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.